And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. It is Tuesday, the 7th of June here in Tokyo, Japan. I was supposed to live stream at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but yeah, something came up. Right now, I am currently looking for a new apartment in Tokyo because I am fucking yeah, I'm trying to move out. Sick of living in this place for various reasons. But yeah, this place served me well. But yeah, it's time to move out. Time to find a better place. It's got to be done. But yeah, this place is just kind of annoying. So yeah, I was out looking at apartments this morning. So that is why I missed the scheduled episode, but it happens. It happens. And now I am live streaming. So yeah, all good. All is well. Um, Last week, yeah, what did I talk about? I think I talked about overcomplicating game and why you should stop doing it. Um, you just need to get out there and mainly the best way to learn game is to get out there and do it. Get out there and get around chicks and you learn that way. You learn from trial and error basically, what works, what doesn't. Um and there's a lot of elements to it, but yeah, obviously the better you look, the more effort you put into your looks, the easier it's going to be to run game. The worse you look, the harder, chicks give you less of a chance to actually, use your game. That's just the way it works. And it's not going to change anytime soon. Looks definitely matter in with chicks. This idea that you can go out there looking like shit and get with chicks is like, it's not that it could never happen, but your ratio is it's gonna be low. It's gonna be you're gonna have to do a lot of fucking you're gonna have to run a lot of numbers. But even when you do look good, you still got to run numbers, but it's just gonna be you're gonna have a higher success rate. But anyway, tonight I want to talk about why so many guys are getting cucked in Western, well, not only Western society, but pretty much like everywhere. I mean, especially in Western society. Um, and I think that is the biggest reason that so many guys are getting cucked, like willingly and unwillingly, is because women get. It's basically boils down to the fact that women get inundated with just incredible amounts of free attention. Um, and yeah, I think this is just because of how sexualized society, how sexualized society has become, and the fact that women have been completely liberated to come and go as they please and to dress how they please and to dress as sexy as they want in the workplace and just pretty much just get away with things that I don't even know if they should be getting away with, but like sometimes I think Muslims and in the Islamic world they honestly in certain ways they have it right. It's like it's like they understand that the female body is a serious distraction to men. I mean, it's just natural. It's just like it's just a distraction. It causes yeah, it gives women when women show skin, they basically get just a way like a seriously unfair advantage over men. It's very hypnotizing. If men show skin, they get I don't know, they get charged with sexual harassment or indecent exposure. Um, yeah, it's just kind of a weird world we live in. It's a very weird world where we deny, I don't know what it is about feminists that they're so hell bent on like denying biology. one of the things that annoys me most about like it's when feminists kind of don't acknowledge the fact that when women dress really, extremely provocatively, wearing sexy clothes and whatnot, showing a lot of skin, that it causes men to become like sexually attracted to them. And for some reason, females, especially feminists, like to deny this reality. They like to deny this fact that if there's two women walking down the street, one is wearing a mini skirt and high heels, and the other is wearing like baggy jeans and a regular top. Like 10 out of 10 guys are going to go for the chick in the mini skirt. Like they're just, at least they're going to like like their eyes are going to be drawn to her. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like for some reason feminists are like, oh no, it doesn't matter what women wear. It's just men just want power over women. So it's like, no, it's just not. That's not the way it is. But yeah. So uh, basically, in the sexual marketplace, women also have like an extreme advantage over men. So women are able to like punch up so much more than they should. They're able to punch up and get with men that are out of their league. Whereas men, like if a man is punching up physically in terms of like if he's kind of busted, if he's out of shape, he's gonna have to have money or something. He's gonna have to have, if he's able to like maintain a chick and keep her around, he's got like he can't just get away with, being out of shape. He's gonna have to make up for it, money muscles game, frame, all that stuff. Um but women don't need the same. They can be kind of busted and still get with guys that are, one would think that should be out of our league. But just in today's day and age, there's just so much scarcity. Guys have such a scarcity mindset because girls are able to, even busted girls are able to get with guys. At least they're able to sleep with guys that are way out of their league. If they're really busted, then they might not be able to keep them. But I guarantee you, like girls that are really busted are able to sleep with guys that are way out of their league. And this is why women are able to like disrespect and kind of treat men really badly. But one of the reason I thought of this topic was because I saw this clip on Twitter that I'll share now, and it just like it kind of sums up what what is going on. Kind of, it's a very good example of the advantage and the kind of disrespect and women have for men in the sexual marketplace, and it's kind of crazy. But I'll just share it now. Let me share. All right, so some of you guys might have already seen this, but let me just share it.
If the Yankees were going to win a World Series, but you had to give each other a hall pass, would you do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, why
Who does she have to? Who does she have
You
to?
can pick anyone who you want. Who would you pick?
anyone in the world? My ex-boyfriend.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Who would you pick?
You.
Aw, I'm sorry. Why the ex-boyfriend?
We're gonna fight about this.
Why the ex-boyfriend? He's gone. You can tell me.
He was a good lover.
Okay. Wow. If the Yankees were going to win a World Series, but you had to give each other a
Oh my god. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, a hall pass, I didn't know either, but I got it from the context. Apparently, a hall pass means that you get a free pass to cheat. I guess, kind of an open relationship kind of thing. Um yes, so like I mean like she's just fucking like, I wouldn't say she's busted, but like she's fucking average at best. Um she's average at best, but like just the level of disrespect, like completely. cucks. Even as a joke, this is too much. Like man, like even as a joke, it's just like to do that on camera is like in front of like I don't know if she knew what it was gonna go viral or anything, but still, like even to say that out in public in front of your boyfriend, which in terms of looks, he's not a bad looking guy. I mean, like he has the genetics that he could be a Chad if he tried. Like he has like the you know he seems well, he seems like a decent looking guy. He could be a Chad if he wanted. If he went to the gym and dressed well and all that, he'd be a fucking he definitely has no problem uh he would have no problem getting real hot girls. Like if he had game and he dressed well and all that, he would like, you know, yeah, he's definitely in terms of looks, he should be out of her league. Um, should be well out of her league. I mean, she's just like, let me see. Nice try, Governor says average is generous. I'm being generous. Being generous. I don't know, Um, I'll say she's not busted, but she's not a fucking cat. She's not to write home about. Let's just put it like that. She's absolutely nothing to write home about. But regardless, like it's just like it's a good example because even if she was good looking, even if she was like a real hottie, it's still really fucking out of line and insanely disrespectful. So she's like, even she might as well literally be cucking him because the damage is done. It's gone viral. It's on the internet. It's on the internet forever. Everyone knows, and it's so like you can just tell. You can just tell that she's serious. Like that's another crazy thing. It's not a joke. That's what she could say it's a joke, but it's not. Like you know, her ex boyfriend. She wanted to if she could get with anyone, she'd get with her ex boyfriend. And then to add insult to injury, let's just watch it once more. Let me see.
If the Yankees were going to win a World Series, but you had to give each other a hall pass, would you do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, why?
And see the way she said like absolutely with like in a certain like the way she says absolutely is like it's just like you can hear that she just desperately wants to literally cuck him. Like she says absolutely like she's sucking a dick. Like she says absolutely in a way that tells me she wants to suck a dick at her ex's dick and make him watch. Just listen to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just look how cucked he is. Like I feel this guy honestly this guy annoys me. This guy's getting a lot of sympathy, but it's just fucking like there's just so many guys out there like this guy that he kind of just pisses me off. His innocent fucking cocked face. And it's even more forgivable, but it's even more unforgivable because it's like I'd have more respect for guys that willingly want to get cocked as a fetish, like over guys that unwillingly get cocked. Getting unwillingly cocked is the most pathetic thing that you can do. Like it's if you're in a relationship and you're unwillingly getting cocked and letting it, and tolerating it, that is fucking pathetic. And I stand by that statement. I have more respect for guys that have a cuckold fetish and they like to see their chicks get fucked and admit it than people who are like unwillingly getting cocked and then crying about it and then staying with their girlfriends. Like pathetic fucking cowards. But there's just so many fucking of them. It just seems like there's just look at his unwillingly, he's just brokenhearted, his little brokenhearted face with his busted chick. Like, I don't know. It's just so annoying. It's so annoying. I have no sympathy for him.
Yeah.
Okay, why
Who
does
does she have to? Who does she have
You
to?
can pick anyone who you want. Who would you pick?
And it's just like, yeah, it's like he's getting unwillingly cocked. Doesn't like
anyone in the world?
anyone in the world. She's loving this. She is loving this. I guarantee she would love to get raw dogged by her ex and make her boyfriend um watch while he begs her to stop getting fucked by her ex. Like I said, getting unwillingly cooked is way worse than willingly getting cooked. Like, because it's you can't get cooked like unless you participate. So what I mean by that is like if you're a girlfriend. So let's just say you have a girlfriend and she does this to you, and she does this on camera, and then you just say, "Okay, go and get fucked." She didn't cuck him because he told her to go and get fucked, but it is, he she is cucking him because he's tolerating it and he's allowing it and he's staying in the relationship. That's when you're a cuck. So like I said, it's when you stand up to chicks and don't allow them to cook you, they can't cook you. You can never get cooked. So even if your girlfriend cheats on you, you can redeem yourself by telling her to get fucked. That's just your girlfriend cheating on you. And you can tell her to get fucked and break up with her and block her number and never see her again. That's respectful, That's you redeeming yourself. You're not a cook. If your girlfriend cheats on you, you're not a cook as long as you end things with her. But this guy is like, he's a cook.
My ex-boyfriend.
And he's even more of a cuck because he's even more of a cuck because he tries to laugh it off. Like that meme, NPC meme, they laugh like it's like that fucking he's crying inside. But look at the genuine shock on his face. Like he just can't believe what he's hearing. Like he just cannot believe it. He's just like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like he's like, man, this guy's getting wrecked. This guy's getting wrecked and right in front of me.
Who would you pick?
And this is the worst. This is the worst fucking part of it. This is the worst. This self-degrading. He had a chance to redeem himself. He had a fucking chance. He had one chance, and then he asks him. The interviewer asked him, who would he fuck? He has a chance to, tell her to go fuck herself, or tell her that at least tell her he'd fuck her best friend, or he'd fuck her sister, or something. But what does he do? What does he do? Like a good little cuck.
Who would you pick?
You.
Aw.
He says he'd pick her after she said she would bang her, let her ex bang her, let her ex raw dog her. Probably her ex like was rough with her, probably like threw her around the room, made her squirt, made her come, did all kinds of filthy shit to her. And she wants to get back with him. And you might say, "Oh no, maybe he was just more emotionally there for her. Maybe he was just a sweeter guy." No, no, no. If you really if you want to get rid of that argument, all you have to do is listen to the end.
Oh, so why the ex-boyfriend?
We're gonna fight about this.
Why the ex-boyfriend?
So why the ex-boyfriend? So if there's any uncertainty as to why, if there's absolutely any uncertainty as to why she wanted to get back with the ex-boyfriend,
He's gone. You can tell me.
He was a good lover.
he was a good lover, aka he fucking raw dogged the shit out of me. That's what that means. So I don't know. This is just, although this may seem shocking to a lot of guys, this may seem like, wow, that's insane. Oh my God, I can't believe she did that. Can't believe she did that to him. But like, there's many such cases. Many such cases. Pablo says, I'd have left her immediately after this. He should have. I mean, if that was me, I would have, especially since it's on camera, I would say go fuck yourself, and I would walk off camera. And it's, oh, you can't take a joke. Like, fuck no, like not like that. Holy shit, on camera, like that, like no, like what the fuck, like shit, like I just no, it's just like humiliating, even as a joke. Like even if it's not a joke though, and we know that much just from the body language. Everything about that was not a joke. Trust me, it wasn't a joke. It might have been like said in jokey spirit, goofy little interview, hypothetical kind of shit. But we just know from the body language, the way she's giggling about it, and like even at the end, the way she said he's a good love. Like I said, even if it was a joke, it's still unforgivable because you're humiliating your boyfriend on camera. Like even if she meant it as a joke and she wasn't really serious about it, it's still an unforgivable offense because it's like you're gonna have like people, all his friends, like all his friends would have seen that, and she's also implying that he sucks in bed. That's like you know that's even worse for a guy. It's like getting cucked like that. It's like the whole cuckold thing. It's like when it's like, oh, but I love you, but he was just able to dick me down better. The humiliation of that for a man, the humiliation of being told that for a man. Like every man should be horrified by that. I think me personally, I would way rather you know, be with a girl that thought I was really good in bed rather than be with me just because I'm 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 more emotionally there for her. Like the absolute fucking humiliation. Like having to hold her hand while she gets fucking raw dogged by some other guy. That's essentially what she's doing to that guy. She's like, "Oh, but I love you, but you're sweeter. Oh, you're more emotionally there for me, baby. But his dick was just so much better than yours. It's only physical, babe. You know, damn, like hardcore shit." Um, Spark55 says, "I'd have told to get fucked and maybe even approach another girl right in front of her." Yeah, you'd have to go savage mode. I mean, like I said, everything about it was like she meant what she said. She 100% meant what she said. She was like, they're probably no, that guy is probably going to stay with her. He's not going to break up with her. Um, Spark55 says that bitch is a plate at best or a pump and dump. Yeah, she's a slump buster. She's a slump buster when um, you know, she's not completely busted. I'm not gonna pretend she's like hideous or anything, but she's not like she's way too like he's definitely way out of her league. He's definitely physically anyway, but his game is seriously bad. Seriously fucking bad. Like humiliation to the max. But yeah, guys, that's what's going on in the world today, and it's just like that might that's just happening all like I said, getting unwillingly cocked is like it's like there's nothing worse than that. Let me just play this other video. I'll do some commentary on it. Speaking of being cocked, ABC says you can get cocked with no words too sometimes. Watch out for that too. Yeah, for sure. I think there's probably some interesting videos in the replies. Let me see. All right, let me see if there's any. No, but that guy is just down really, really badly. Here's another one. Here is another one. Let me get it up.
Notice she's in Man's arms. She's in his arms. And then she does what? This spin move. Ooh. It's bad.
Unwillingly cocked. Like this is the face of a man getting unwillingly cocked. Um, yeah, I mean, on the other hand, like the best thing you can do if your chick ever does something like that to you, just fucking walk away. She's not even. No chick is worth. If a chick is gonna disrespect you that much, it's her fault. It's her fault. Okay, so there's two different scenarios, all right? There's two different scenarios, right? So this is what can happen, right? Let's just say you're with your chick and you're walking down the
And then
street.
she does
You're walking down the street,
this spin move. Ooh.
and some guy hits on her. If she's really about you, she'll fucking she'll won't even look at that guy. She literally will ignore that guy. She won't acknowledge him in any fucking way whatsoever if she's like a loyal chick to you, if she really likes you. Um and in that case, if he keeps hitting on her, then you can, and your chick is not given any kind of feedback to him whatsoever, and he's trying to hit on your chick in front of you, then you control hands. In that situation you control hands. But in a situation where you're walking down the street and some guy hits on your girl and you notice your girl flirt back with him in front of you, you let that fucking hoe, you tell her to fuck off to him, and then you have nothing to do with that. You end it with that chick right there. You never fight over a chick that is a hoe, a chick that is not like, you know what I mean? Never ever throw hands over a chick that isn't worth it, And there's not many chicks that are worth it. So, like I said, there's a big difference in the two scenarios that I described. A very big difference. All right. In the first instance, some guy's pretty much trying to step to you, like he's trying to fucking fight with you because he's hitting on your girlfriend, and your girlfriend, and you're there with your girl, and he's continuing to do it, and your girlfriend's not giving him any signals whatsoever, or your girlfriend's being loyal to you, basically. Then that's fighting. That's fighting mode. Then, even though you should always try and avoid fights, but I'm just saying that is like a confrontation. That's a confrontational situation, right? You're gonna have to like stand your ground, right? Tell the guy to fuck off, right? But like I said, in a situation like this, where the chick like fucking dives over to the guy,
Does this spin move. Ooh.
she spins around. She fucking goes to the guy. She stops on the street. She goes into the guy's arms. She gets real close to him, even though there's a camera there as well. Insanely disrespectful. Insane levels of disrespect. The guy just like pathetically standing to the side. So this guy is getting unwillingly cocked. So it's like, oh man, it's just like pathetic, savage levels of patheticness. And then she literally kisses the guy. She literally kisses him in front of him. Irredeemable. You can't ever have like, you just can't. You just cannot you cannot forgive that. That doesn't leave the internet either. It's online. And he takes her back. So that guy is an official cuck, like, and he's an unwilling cuck. Like he's not he didn't approve of it, he didn't like it. He's trying to laugh the pain away, but he's brokenhearted inside. Just if you're gonna be a cuck, just fucking just admit it. Just like say you're a cuck. Like you have to admit, this guy has to admit he's a cuck. The other guy has to admit he's a cuck. Cuck for life. Blue pill cuck for life. That's just like, even though they're not going to want to admit it, I'm sorry, but that's you are like, it's just there's no redemption from it. Um, it's like, I guess you could be a redeemed cuck. You could be you could redeem yourself, I guess. But like, if you changed, if you became more masculine. See, guys are made. The thing about men are made. That's the lucky thing about being a man. As a man, you can be made. You can come back from seemingly irredeemable stuff. But unfortunately, this shit's on the internet. So that's kind of sad for these guys. But like, yeah, if it wasn't on camera, then maybe they'd have some hope. But like, they're gonna be they're gonna be labeled cucks for life. But
Notice she's in man.
so yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, just all kinds of levels of sad. Here's another one. You know, Will Smith, the famous celebrity cuck. Um, King 4am says, just started watching your channel yesterday. Saw you had a channel on Insta. I gotta go to work, so I'll catch the playback. Peace, bro. Check it out. Live stream a few times a week. So I usually live stream at night, Monday 10 p.m. and Thursday 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. But yeah, man, there's just like there's cuckoldry going on at all levels of society. So- oh man, but yeah, I mean, you best believe, man. That's the thing. That's the thing about like that is. This one says their relationship after this. I don't think so. I think that guy's a cuck. I don't think he's going to break up with her. He's not going to break up with her. He's just not. Um, I don't think it's going to happen. You know, just the way he didn't even try and redeem himself from it. But the thing is, this one says ex-boyfriend seeing this be like, this is the thing, guys. Listen, this is why sex is so important in a relationship, and this is why her notch count really matters. Actually, um, like the notch count, a chick's notch count is hugely important because you're basically in competition with every other guy that she has been with. So just like statistically, in terms of physicality, like the more guys a chick has been with, the less chance you have been her best, the best her best lover. Like even if you're really good at sex and all that, and you should be trying to be very good at sex. You should be trying to dick these chicks down as best you can every time. Um but even sometimes it's just a chemical thing where you have a good match with someone. um it's like sometimes I just get with a chick and it is, even though I find her attractive, it's just maybe her smell, or like there's not that click, there's not that match, and so it's not, the sex isn't as passionate, it's not as hot, the sex isn't as hot. um but sometimes I get with a chick and it's just like everything about her, like her, just fuck, man, they're just bitches tasty, you know what I'm saying? And it just clicks well, and the sex is like insanely fire. So, but chicks have the same thing. So when they get with guys, it's like it can be a chemical thing too. So you're in competition with, although you might be physically, better than other guys. She might have had a a good chemical match with another guy, and then she's always going to fantasize about sex with him. She's always going to, so that's why you get with a chick with a high notch count. Yeah, it's gonna be unlikely that like she's gonna be completely, it's gonna be unlikely that you were her best lover. um And that's why these chicks, when they get into their epiphany phase, their late 20s, early 30s, that's why they start looking, although they're looking for these, nice guys. They're looking for the nice guys. They're looking for the reliable guy. You know, that's they still have desire to have hot, passionate sex. So they might settle with a guy that's the fucking, like this nerd, like the nerd we saw in the video, and the first video, the guy that was getting cucked by the interview. The chick wanted to be with her, wanted to get banged by her ex boyfriend. So that guy's probably the nice, reliable guy, although she's fantasizing sexually about other men. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, pretty savage. So if you're even considering getting into a relationship with a chick, you should really do your research and try to decipher, how many guys she's been with, like before you give any kind of commitment. Um, and these kind of things reveal themselves. Because first of all, a chick is never really gonna tell you exactly how many guys she's been with. She's probably gonna lie. But just from her history, how much she's been partying, her age and all that, you're gonna know if she's been dicked down a lot or not. Check her Instagram, see all the guys that she's been following. You know what I mean? It'll reveal itself. Unless you're a naive idiot, unless you're silly motherfucker, you should get an understanding just from being with her, from hanging out with her, from seeing her social medias and all that. You're gonna have an idea if this chick has been a hoe or not. But yeah, so let me just share this other video. Yeah. Yeah.
Thinking about cucks. At first I was like, wow, a lot of people getting into cuckolding. And then I realized, oh no, that's not what they mean. Before it went mainstream, cuckolding was a relatively common but underground type of kink. It's a popular porn genre, and the Reddit cuckolding community has over 100,000 members. So today I want to talk about cuckolding as a kink and dip our toes into some of its interesting politics. In the past, and maybe, not even entirely, a cuckold referred primarily to a white guy who let his girlfriend have sex with a black guy. The idea being that this is the ultimate emasculation. I mean, what could be more humiliating than your girl having sex with a black man? These days, the
I don't know. Like, I don't know about that. Although the thumbnail I use for today's episode, I just fucking Google searched it, and it was one of the first images that I found. But all the dictionary definition of cuckolding is a man that raises another man's children unknowingly. Pretty much, So it's like you're a cuckold. Like you're so it's kind of like so on it, like the dictionary definition, race doesn't have anything to do with it. So although the thumbnail I used for it, like, so I don't buy into the whole racial thing about it. It's like, it's like cuckolding happens with all mixes of races, whether it be mixed race, in all any guy can get cucked basically by any guy. So it all depends on the situation, the circumstance. Like another white guy can cuck another white guy. A white guy could cuck a black guy. A black guy can cuck a white guy. There's no fucking racial boundaries within cuckolding. Like it is what it is. Like it's like you can cuck a black guy. You can cuck a black guy can cuck a white guy. It just depends on who's dominant, who's dominating your fucking woman and banging your chick. You know, like that's just the way it is. But yeah, so I don't really care for that fucking idea that it's like it's racial or anything, because the dictionary definition of it is that's not what it means.
Racial element seems more pronounced in porn than in real life. And a lot of kinksters that I talk to don't even really know this bizarre origin story. In fact, they may not even know that the name of their kink is cuckolding. We also know now that women.
And to add to that, we all know that for sure because look at Will Smith. The guy's a fucking the guy got cucked by another younger black guy. So it's like I said, black guys can get cucked, white guys can get cucked, Asian guys can get cucked. Any race of guy can get cucked by any race, by any mix, by any combination. It all depends on who's fucking your chick. You know what I mean? So it's like this fucking racial bullshit. I don't buy into it. And like I said, I just used that thumbnail just because it was convenient to use. It's not because I think, but certainly, well, it seems that in Western society, there's men have just become weaker, more pathetic overall in general.
Women can be cucks as well because of equality. Of course, the main question that a lot of people have about cuckolding is why. For most people,
women cannot be cucked. It's not the same. It's just not the same. Women cannot be cucked. I don't believe in that. She's just being we're all equal, equality. No, women can't be cucked. They cannot be cucked. They don't have dicks. They can't do it. I swear to God, if I was in a relationship and my girlfriend was like, "Oh my God, I cheated on you," and I'd be like, "Okay, we're done." But out of curiosity, who do you cheat with? And she'd be like, I got with a chick." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's not cheating." It's like if my girlfriend hooked up with a chick, I'd be like, "Yeah, I really don't care." They can't. There's no It's just not the same. I would be 0% jealous. There'd be no jealous. It's just because they don't have a dick. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. So I don't give a fuck. Chicks cannot get cooked.
The idea of their significant other having sex with someone else is enraging, or maybe sad, or threatening. Anything really, but hot. So I put out the bat signal on Twitter. I interviewed about 50 self-described cucks over email and talked to a few on the phone as well. The extended cuts of our conversations are now up on Patreon. I want to share some of the highlights from these conversations. Two clear patterns emerged when I asked people what they find sexy about cuckolding. Check out this clip with Travis.
Cuckolding, I feel like there's two main types. And one kind of goes in with femdom type of cuckolding, where the wife wants to bring home a guy and humiliate the husband. But we don't really do that. We do more of the dual participatory cuckolding, where I really enjoy watching her with another guy.
So
it's funny how his accent, his voice, his accent, literally. It suits being a cuckold. He sounds like a cuckold. A kind of lefty, kind of effeminate, almost gay, kind of bisexual voice. It's kind of funny. Loaf says she is probably in the identity politics left. She definitely is. And there is a race thing. Black man is the victim forever, and the evil ones are the white man. So for her, that makes sense, I think. Indeed. But yeah.
The difference being that some types of cuckold situations are more about the humiliation versus being more about the mutual pleasure that you get out of it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't mean to say that the guys that are participating in the femdom and humiliation don't get any pleasure out of it. I'm sure they do.
Sure. What I mean is more have you heard the term compersion before?
I haven't. What's that?
So compersion refers to getting pleasure out of someone else's pleasure.
Well, that's a great term, because I feel like that describes why I really, really enjoy cuckolding quite well.
So I would assume that the compersion aspect of it.
He enjoys getting cuckolded. I mean, I've had multiple guys I've had multiple guys ask me to bang their girlfriends in my life. Um, the most recent of was a guy I met in a bar, and he, I'll be honest, the guy didn't sound or look like a typical cuckold at all. The guy was actually pretty, like he was pretty cool guy. I mean, I talked, I was like kind of shocked that he asked me to do that, but I obliged and I went and banged his girlfriend. But while he watched, literally did that, and yeah, I mean, I think it's probably it's funny. I think it's probably more. I think w- with the internet, we can now we can know that there's it's far more common than people would like to think. People behind closed doors, people are completely different people, and the internet and stats, and particularly Pornhub stats, can show us that that we know that people have some dark secrets. I would say there's a lot more. Well, no, there are a lot more guys that are cucks and that have cuckold fantasies than would like to admit it. That would never admit it actually in public. Like who's gonna want, like, even your internet history? Who's gonna want, and would any of you guys watching be comfortable with having your internet history being displayed in public? I doubt it, and I'm not saying I'm not saying any of you guys are cuckolds, but I'm just as an example. Like you probably wouldn't even want your regular porn to be known, like what you search up or anything. And but yeah, speaking of porn, you like the less the better. The less the better. You shouldn't be watching porn at all. I'm on the side of you know, just less is better. Like it's even with jerking off. I'm not on the the total autistic side of things where it's like if you jerk off, you're the whole no fap thing where it's like, oh, you can never jerk off, and if you're not getting sex, you got to retain your sperm. It's like, I get it. There's some truth to it. It's definitely true that you should not jerk off. The less the better. Like the more you retain it's sexual energy basically. So the more sexual energy you have, the more likely you are going to engage in game, approaching women. You're going to be more likely to have actual sex, which is the best fucking option over. So, but yeah, jerking off every now and again, although not fucking desirable, not it's not. It's probably most guys are going to do it, and it's not going to cause that much harm. But you know, um, definitely you should be aiming to have sex rather than jerking off. The most pathetic thing you could ever be doing is like jerking off to watching porn, like and not having sex. You know, really is. Um,
Is part of what you find sexy about it?
And speaking of that, I think that I think that that's part of the reason cuckoldry has probably grown, because guys have become so desensitized to like hardcore porn, and they probably like developed like, even though they might not have ever been a cuckold before the internet, but because of their desensitivity to watching hardcore porn for so long, like watching all kinds of porn, they've just became desensitized and got into weirder and weirder porn that is just like kind of stuff that they would never have gotten into before, and then they end up getting into the cuckold category. So eventually, and that then they start fantasizing about it and actually wanting to do it. So that's probably why it's probably why these kinds of I just desensitization over time. So yeah, that's why you should like. I think the less porn you watch, the less the more probably the more vanilla your tastes are gonna be with women. But there's nothing wrong with being kinky and freaky, but it should happen more like naturally through having sex with chicks rather the most unhealthy fucking weird shit you can do that can happen you is if you develop weird kinks and fantasies through fucking digital porn. Like if you're gonna develop weird fantasies and fetishes at least try and let them happen like through having sex with women rather than like through a fucking screen. That shit's fucking pathetic. Um, and unfortunately, it's insanely common. Like it's insanely fucking really common. Like it's yeah, I would say most guys develop fucking weird fetishes through digital screen, through the fucking screen, rather than actually doing it with women. Um, yeah. So that can even result in guys having performance issues and not being able to perform well with chicks, uh, erectile dysfunction and stuff like that, because they get so degenerate that over time it's just like when they become face to face with the actual woman for sex, then it doesn't match their fantasy or like their hardcore fantasy, and then they just can't get aroused by it. So that's a bad situation to get yourself into.
Yeah, I think so. I find that really, really exciting when Rachel's having a good time. It's pretty awesome that she gets to have a chance to be with hot guys, and I can participate in that and seeing her have a really good time, and yeah.
Compersion. This is like the exact opposite of jealousy, right? You're just so happy or turned on that they are so happy or turned on. A lot of people who are into non-monogamy experience compersion in some form. Another viewer told me he enjoys cuckolding because he likes watching his partner experience pleasure from a different angle. So it's like a visual compersion. So what's the other big pattern? Some cuckolds are turned on by the humiliation of it all. So when you said you don't fully understand why it's erotic, right?
I don't fully understand it because it's almost a taboo. In fact, it is incredibly a taboo. The concept that
The time I fucking the last time I banged, I guess the last time I cuckolded a guy, which is sounds kind of weird to say that, but I don't think he got off on the humiliation part, because I don't think I wasn't trying to humiliate him. I was just fucking his girlfriend, and he was kind of just watching. And then when I finished fucking her, I just fucking went, had a shower, and then he started fucking her, and I left. That's pretty much what happened. But it wasn't like she was insulting him, like while I was fucking her. I was just fucking her, and he was watching, getting turned on by it. And yeah, so I guess there's different kinds of, there's all fucking all shades of this kind of fetish, I guess.
get off from watching someone have sex with your partner because for some reason or another you're unable to do it right. It's like it's almost akin to piss play.
You mean in the sense that it invokes this reaction of disgust?
Let me put it this way. I'm so comfortable talking about this, and yet I want you to modify my voice.
Because it's so stigmatized.
Yeah.
So is it the stigma, is that taboo, that sort of forbidden?
So, like I was just saying earlier, this guy is like, he doesn't want his identity to be known. So it's just like there's probably a lot of fucking guys, out there, and I'm sure we'd know some, but we may never know that they're cuckolds because they never admit it, and it's not something that, it might not even be a fantasy that they ever act on. It's just something that they fantasize about, or kind of porn that they watch.
An aspect of it may be part of why it's sexy.
The secretive part, yes, absolutely. Men are supposed to be the alphas to an extent.
Let's unpack this. The fact that it's stigmatized and forbidden is part of what makes it hot. And this is the case for
one actual, I can't remember who I heard talking about it. Maybe it was someone on Joe Rogan. I can't remember, but I heard that one of the scientific explanations behind the reason men can get aroused through being cuckolded is something called sperm wars, where I got, if you see another man fucking your wife or girlfriend or whoever, a chick, you become aroused by it because you have to be in competition with his sperm. So that's the science. That's the science. That's what I heard. I can't, like I said, I can't remember where I heard or read that, but I definitely heard it. I definitely heard somewhere talking about it in a scientific context, and I guess that kind of makes sense. That kind of can make sense of it somehow. Um, so the idea is that you become aroused by it because you're literally in competition with his sperm, and then you have to inseminate the chick after him so that you have a chance of. Yeah, it's kind of fucking weird, but I guess it does make sense in a scientific way.
For a lot of sexual practices and kinks is the forbidden fruit effect, right? When we're told that we shouldn't do something, it can make it more appealing. As a side note, this is also part of why abstinence-only education can make sex more appealing to teenagers. When you think about kinks this way, it sort of suggests that even if we have this big sex positive universe where sexuality is okay, there's got to be this healthy space for sex to be naughty, right? Because in so many instances, breaking the rules is what makes it fun. But cuckolding in particular is naughty for an interesting reason. It relies on taboos about monogamy and about masculinity. Male cuckolding is eroticized emasculation. It's a submission fantasy. We're more comfortable with that when it's a woman, right? 50 Shades of Grey, but it's breaking a lot of rules if it's a man. And if you ask me, this is at the heart of why cuckolding is considered degrading and why it's used as an insult.
Those two alpha guys down at the.
It would be interesting to do a survey. I guarantee if you did a survey about who the kinds of people who were involved in, who had got involved in cuckolding, you know, I would say that the guy being cuckolded, aka the guy that is watching his girlfriend get fucked by a girlfriend or wife or whoever, fucked by another alpha guy, I guarantee I would suggest that those guys are left leaning. They're in America, they'd be Democrats. I would say the majority of them are. And I would say the guys that are the bulls, that's what you call the guy that is banging the girl, the alpha guy. I would say that they're more conservative, right leaning, alpha, probably way fitter. Obviously you have the alpha roles, so it's not like these cuckolds have fantasies about weak twerps banging their fucking their wives or girlfriend. No, they get off to the fact that the guy is like stronger, physically superior than him. Like that's the part of the humiliation thing I get. So obviously guys that are jacked in good shape are more likely to be fucking, rational, red pill, um leaning to the right kind of thing. Um, although it's weird. It's weird. It's like although red pill is like associated with the right, it's like it's not even a lot of aspects, and it's not even conservative. It's weird, But I wouldn't consider myself a conservative. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a conservative by any means. I'm a degenerate, but I'm certainly not on the left. No way. That's why wouldn't want um I'm more of a libertarian. Like I like freedom, and I stuff that maybe even in the past maybe I would have been considered on the left, but in the modern in 2022, no fucking chance. We wouldn't want anything to do with those motherfuckers. Um,
Casino we worked at, they were really big into calling people cucks, and it was disturbing to me in the sense that I was annoyed and afraid that maybe they'd find out that was me.
Mm-hmm. What are they getting out of calling people cucks?
I think when they call someone else a cuck, it implies that they're not, and it makes them feel more. In some ways, I feel like this is the last death cry of machoism.
Interesting.
Calling someone a cuck implies that they're weak. That's what it's an insult that you're a pussy. That's what it is. Like you're. That's it. Like because it implies that you're not, and they're fucking weak. You're the one that when you call someone a cuck, you're implying that you'd bang their girlfriend, or if they had a girlfriend, um, you know what I mean?
They want to hold on to that whole like I'm a manly man, and by calling somebody else a cuck, it makes me more of a
I
man.
feel like they're using it the same way that we're now, trying to get out of, the same way that people used gay as an insult.
Absolutely.
I agreed with Travis and his partner here. Cuck is just an edgelord's take on old classics. But hey, another of my cucklings, he didn't have a problem with cuck being used as an insult. In fact, he thought it was kind of fitting.
By the way, the first time somebody was called a cuck in a political context, I thought it was very funny, and I thought it made a lot of sense. Because the reason why I think it made sense in a political context is because it's used to talk about Democrats. And Democrats, whether you like it or not, will always be viewed as the sissies on the political spectrum.
Oh, that's hilarious. He's a based cuck. he's like admitting it. You got to give him respect. Give someone respect, even if they're a cuck. Respect is due. He's admitting that the Democrats will always be viewed as sissies on the political spectrum. They are. They really are.
The sissies on the political spectrum.
Why is that?
Well, think about what they want. They want to help people. They want to help immigrants. They want to help refugees. Provide free health care regardless of the cost to anybody. And God damn it, they're too limp-wristed.
Limp-wristed twerps. Annoyingly fucking limp-wristed. Annoying limp-wristed fucking dorks. That's what they are.
Everyone, they love the trees.
This conversation veered in another direction, but it really stuck with me. The idea that liberals are cucks or, sissies or effeminate because they care, as if caring is a bad thing. Red pillars of the world. This is what feminists are talking about when we say toxic masculinity, as if a guy should be shamed for caring about things. I mean, just think about that.
Why do you think cuck shouldn't?
It's also bullshit. Like, it's not that lefties care about things. It's like there's just so much more. It's just fucking gaslighting. It's bullshit. Lefties don't give a fuck. They're just brainwashed fucking NPCs and following what the mainstream tells them to follow. If they really fucking cared about people, they wouldn't have burned down cities, and killed all those people during the fucking BLM protests. So this is the idea, lefties are more caring. No, they're just pussies. Like, they're just fucking cowards and pussies. That's what they are, really. It's not that they're more caring. It's like this idea that women are more compassionate and caring. Are they? Fuck. Like, they're not at all. Like, just because someone says something, like, it's like when lefties and liberals or when these celebrities, come out and say, "Oh yeah, it's like they're, all refugees welcome," and it's like, okay, well, why don't you take you're rich, you have all these mansions, so why don't you take some in? And they're like, "Oh yeah, I will," and then they never do. It's like this bullshit garbage pretending. That's why lefties boil my piss so much. It's because they're fucking liars. They're little cowards. It's just like, it's all virtue signaling. It's all like pretending. Oh, we're more compassionate. No, you're just dickheads. You're just fucking dickheads. That's all they are.
Be used as a pejorative.
I don't think people should be shamed for what they're into sexually.
To an extent, I agree with that.
It's also because, we've been
But that's stupid because the whole idea of being like, there's not all kinds of cooks. There's all different kinds of variety, but like the whole idea of being cooked, that's what they get off to. They get off to being shamed about it. That's the thing about it. They like being shamed about it. You destroy their fantasy if you stop shaming them about it. They want to be shamed about it. That's the idea of it. You can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it. If you either want, you get off to being shamed, or you it's accepted and then you're not shamed about it. So like, what is it? There's no pleasing these fuckers. Oh my god, these fucking, like, oh my god, let's accept everyone. Oh my god, shut the fuck up. Like, shit boys, like, just like, just these people that want their, just these annoying motherfucker lefty liberals, like.
Talking a lot about the alpha and the beta and the male gender roles and all that, right? And I think that there is a lot of damage that is caused with how heavily we police guys on this. People just need to chill out,
And the reason why I don't mind it being used as an insult, or I don't take offense at it, is because that guy doesn't know what the fuck my life is. He doesn't know what I'm into. And frankly, I'm happy with what I get off to. It's okay.
Well, hey, I can get down with that.
Thanks for.
Anyway, there you have it. Cuckoldry. It's Love says many are right libertarians that are red pilled, pretty contrarian to the sheep in general. Yeah, I don't think, cuckoldry. Yeah, it's probably, if anything, it's going to increase. I mean, there's going to be more guys that are getting cuckolded. But like I said at the start of the episode, like there's quite a big difference between being willingly and unwillingly cucked, and it's more like, the last video I talked about was more like the fetishization of it. But what I'm talking about really, the problem when I'm talking about guys getting cucked in the West, I'm not necessarily talking about the fetish of it. I'm talking about the, like, guys getting unwillingly cucked because it's just basically because of the how entitled and how overinflated the female ego has become in Western society, and so this is basically a huge problem for so many guys because it's like they're getting ripped off in the sexual marketplace. They're either getting ripped off, getting with girls that like they could do way better than, or they're getting completely excluded from the sexual marketplace. They're getting like nothing. And if you're one of those guys that is getting nothing in the sexual marketplace, if you're like having real struggles with your sex life, like it can. The good news is men can be made, and you can learn game, and you can become a better man. So you can do better than you're already doing. So as usual, like, comment, subscribe. If you're looking to improve your sex life, if you want to learn, get some insights on Daygame, check out the link in the description. Feel free to book a Daygame consult. That is how I get 100% of my women. Well, bit of day game and night game. Well, mostly day game and then some night game. So not 100%. I get some chicks from night game too, but my preferred method is day game. Night game is definitely fun too, but yeah, it's like, day games where it's at. Really, I really, that's where always get the hottest chicks. So, like I said, it can be remedied. That's what I learned it. I learned day game before I did day game. And like when I heard about it, I always remember back when I lived in Ireland, I remember a guy telling me that he used to do day game, and I was just skeptical about it. I didn't believe him. I was blue pilled at the time, and I thought, he's full of shit. You don't pick up chicks in the daytime. That doesn't happen. You're full of shit. I was just naive to the idea, but fucking hell, time. Now I know. I've known for a long time, but yeah, it's just it beats every other method I've ever tried. So don't hesitate. click on the link in the description and book a consultation. But yeah, guys, until Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out. Have a good one. Bye bye.